Thank you, Chair, and very grateful to the Chief Constable for his update. Just to echo everything that he says, our work leading the UK's fight to cut serious and organised crime is strengthened as a result of the very impressive and strong partnership we have with the Police Service of Northern Ireland. I just want to touch on the first point you made, Chair, which is about our publication of our National Strategic Assessment. We have a requirement in law annually to provide a public assessment of the threat that is faced from serious and organised crime. And of course, that impacts on every community across the UK. And I want to draw out for you what we think are the 5 big headings from this year's report, specifically as they relate to the communities of Northern Ireland. So the first is a point about the scale of serious and organised crime. What we have tried to do this year is to structure our assessment of that scale, which is something that boards like yours have been asking us to do for a number of years. So ourselves and policing and indeed other partners map people involved in serious and organised crime. And this year we estimate there to be just under 70,000 people across the UK engaged in serious and organised crime. And we assess that to be an underestimate. One of the questions that we are repeatedly asked is about the scale of child sexual abuse, particularly those people who have a sexual interest in children. So the specialists in the National Crime Agency have worked tirelessly to develop a new methodology. It's different to last year's methodology, so the two are not comparable, but which seeks to assess the number of people who have a sexual interest in children. That's a very broad definition, from those who view images to those who actually engage in contact offending, both here and reaching and ordering it abroad through the concept of live streaming. But this year's estimate is that there is between 550,000 and 850,000 people who have a sexual interest in children across the UK. And of course, some of those will be based in the communities of Northern Ireland, as will the victims, the children of Northern Ireland. And then there is a third category, which is cybercrime, cyber-enabled crime and fraud, where I think we would say our understanding of the scale of that threat is not as good as it currently as it needs to be. And we're going to focus in next year's National Strategic Assessment on understanding that threat more significantly. The second thing this year's assessment tells us is about technology. So we are seeing a significant increase in ransomware that's been particularly enabled by the COVID crisis. So these are links sent to our computers or to our mobile phones to try and steal our personal data or companies' data, and often linked to offences of fraud. And it's great to see the success that Simon just alluded to in Northern Ireland this week. We also see that serious and organised crime is ever more global. Global supply chains, global markets, global networks, and therefore the necessity to protect the communities of Northern Ireland relies on the specialist resource we provide from the National Crime Agency that is based upstream and overseas. The fourth point is that serious and organised crime continues to be resilient and determined. Both Simon's report, the Chief Constable's report, and my report detail the extensive efforts made by both of our organisations to pursue offenders who target those who wish to commit the most significant crimes. But there is no doubt they saw COVID as an opportunity to target children online, an opportunity to commit fraud through fake PPE or through the distribution of ransomware links, or through the supply of drugs in which they, for example, disguise themselves as supermarket workers. And lastly, and specifically for Northern Ireland, we continue to see an overlap between counterterrorism and serious and organised crime, particularly the flow of firearms and the impact of illicit finance. So money made from serious and organised crime that is then used to fund other criminal activity. In this report, we have given you some headline statistics, just to summarise them. So the reports cover Q3 and Q4, so the second half of 1920, 2021. The Chief Constable has given you the headline drug figures, but specifically from the NCA, 21 kilograms of cocaine seized, 4 people sentenced through criminal court proceedings to a total of 17, just over 17 years imprisonment, 19 new operations opened, and of course, children safeguarded and firearms seized. probably the most notable firearm seizure will be reported actually in next quarter's report, which is the 11 significant weapons that were located in your communities, which we assess as connected to serious organised crime. And other results too, which are spread throughout the document, including arrests and now charges in March, people involved in, we suspect, paramilitary crime, conspiring to supply Class A drugs, and I say charged now before a court. I shall leave it at that, Chair, because I know you are limited for time and will want to get on to questions, but thank you for your time.